Alright everyone, it's the last part of the course. So we have nailed down the general approach we have. We got the idea of what climbing is. We want to increase our own resource accumulation, our own strength of our champion. We want to increase thus our influence over the game and our win rate as a result of that. And this will translate to whatever elo we reach as long as we have this style. We're not cheating through playing a style that works Shen ulting in bot lane and our top opponent's not good enough to carry. We're playing a solid game that works. We just have to improve our fundamentals long term and we're gonna become a lot better and a lot higher elo at the game. So this is what this part is gonna be answering. And as I said, I drew this in a couple of levels here of what you can do to improve. The first is gonna be the foundation. If you wanna put even more work, there's growth. And there's accountability. I know there's some fancy words right here. And then I have a mystery last level that we're going to reveal at the end of the video. Now the foundation, as far as improving your fundamentals, and I would like to first clarify what I'm talking about when we are talking about fundamentals. So fundamentals is the skill that separates you from players worse than you, the biggest one of them all. It is the reason why a gold player is gonna smurf in bronze and why a diamond player is gonna smurf in gold. It is not one specific thing, but these things that I'm about to say, it's not limited to them, but it does include them. Tracking of cooldowns, understanding of damage, understanding of skill shots, not quite understanding, but subconscious ability to hit skill shots, subconscious ability to dodge skill shots, and things like that. More the intangibles, if you want to put them this way, although they're quite tangible, and how to improve at those things so that we make sure we actually get better at the game instead of applying the proper framework that I can give you guys as someone who has been challenger. So, foundation. The way we improve our fundamentals on a foundational level is by not only having very big skill discrepancy between the level we can play our champion and the level our opponent can play their champion, and also the level we understand our champion and they understand our own champion. So if they want to fight us, they're less aware than we are because we've played more games, we already went over that, but also understanding enemy and ally champions in our games. So we can do this in three main steps here. And I would say each one gets more difficult, but they are all pretty easy. These two things here, they're gonna be on the easier side. And as we get higher, it's gonna get increasingly more difficult and gonna require more effort from you to improve and do the things that are higher up. So this first one is practice tool. So in practice tool, you can very quickly understand exactly what a champion does without having to invest a lot of time or actually play a game with the champion. Why is this important? Well, I'm going to give an example. I was coaching a guy a couple weeks ago and Yone was against him. Yone used Q twice on like a raptor camp and then he pressed E and he's chasing my student. And my guy's playing Smolder, and Smolder doesn't use E to try to dodge the Yone Q3. We know when Yone gets Tornado and he uses E forward, he's most likely gonna Q. If you don't know that, go play Yone in practice too. And I asked him why didn't he use his E before Yone threw the Q3, because he used it late and then he couldn't dodge the spell. And I knew what answer I was gonna get, but I was asking it still. And he said, I'm not sure what his spells do or how to play against the champ because he's never played it. And then I made a since I knew the answer I was gonna get, I could then tell him, well, you see why it's very important that you actually learn what the other champs do, because in this situation, it's not that you were bad at the game, it's just that you didn't understand what the enemy champ does, so you have no counterplay in this situation. You don't know when to use or how to use your spells. So when I say fundamentals are kind of a tangible skill, that's what I mean. They can be improved individually one by one, and it's not so much a talent thing or a grind thing. It's also a direction in which you practice and in which you think about the game that improves your fundamentals. So going into practice tool and improving understanding of champions that are relevant in your games, they're often seen in your games, at least starting out with those, and then expanding into more niche champions that you still see from time to time, is the easiest way to understand champions beyond your own champion without having to play them in your own solo queue games, which would not be a smart idea. Don't do that ever, as you will then hinder your chances of climbing. The next thing you can do is play ARAMs. the A inconsistency here, one capital, one not. Now in ARAMs, most of us play ARAMs. I would say most people, when they see one of their favorite champs, they're like, oh, give me this, give me this. Don't do that. Okay, you want to flex in front of your friends? Flex with your LP, okay? Your friends, they're gonna have to tank a bit with you first timing champs because it's important for you to have at least a game or two of every champ in the game, or at least the relevant ones, so that you can have a basic understanding of what they do. So whenever you're playing ARAM, prioritize out of comfort picks and always strive to play champions that you are scared of. The champions that you don't understand why they're killing you or how they're killing you. You go in the ARAM, read your spells for a bit while you're walking or you're gating or whatever, and then you just play out the game and you're gonna have a better understanding of that champ. And the hardest thing of this is normal games. So if you have friends, unlike many of us, you want to be playing normal games and playing out of comfort champs yet again. Don't play even your main role, but sometimes you can play your main role and play the champs that you don't know what they do in your main role. If there are such champs, prioritize those. If there are no such champs and you have a rough idea of what champs on your role do, play champs that are giving you a hard time in your ranked games, and you will improve your fundamental understanding of when they're gonna use their spells, how to dodge their spells, like how fast they are. Just have a more subconscious idea of how these champs functions. This the same way you have a subconscious idea of how you want to do your combo, how much damage you're going to deal, you're going to grow into also understanding the opponents in the same manner. And that's going to make a huge difference in terms of how you play skirmishes, how often you die to things you don't expect, and how often you follow your teammates not knowing how much they can actually do and losing resources to a Udyr gang that can never work and you're 100% sure it can never work. Don't play Udyr though, you never see that champ. Now, what do I mean by growth? Growth is something pretty easy as well, and I'll just describe it in one step here. Actually, let's do it in two. So the first step of growth and the concept of it is watching people who are better than you play the game. Why it is so easy is because this is kind of entertainment. You don't really mind watching people who are better than you play the game because it's so smooth, it's so nice. It just looks good and is pleasing to the eye as long as the other guy is actually pretty good. Now, what you can do here on the first step is watch streams of people you like that are pretty good at the game. Like they don't need to be insane at the game. Like someone like Tywar1 is okay for the first step of this. Like they don't need to be great at the game, as I said. They don't need to be pro level. They just need to be pretty good, better than you, and you watch them. Ideally, they're playing your role, and not ideally, but completely mandatory that they need to be playing your role. They need to be playing champs that you're kind of gonna play. So you don't want to watch Tyler plays 5,000 game of Draven if you're never touching that champ. It's not going to qualify as you learning the game, okay? You're just jacking it at this point. So if you want to put your time in a useful manner to learn the game, watch people who are better than you, who are playing your champs. Even if you don't think while you're watching them, this is why it's so easy, you will learn subconsciously. So that's completely fine to watch them on autopilot and just absorb what's happening on your screen without putting much thought into it. Now the next level here is gonna be watching pro VODs. And I don't mean watching an LCK game with 1 kill at 40 minutes. I don't get anything from that. You don't get anything from that. It's completely different from our solo queue game in GOAT 3, I know. So, what you want to be watching is pro solo queue streams. So, the best Korean players, you just Google those. You're gonna see who they are, and you're gonna write in YouTube X player, Y champion, and you're gonna look at that player play that champion. There's VODs of it, I guarantee it, as long as you're not playing Teemo AD carry. So you will see how they play, and you will enjoy the smoothness. Just get in the flow of watching it and just enjoying it because they don't miss CS. All the trades are going mostly perfectly. They always are relevant and strong in the game. So you're gonna learn to enjoy that. I think you already will even on your first watch. But this is gonna be a much higher level than whatever streams you can find most of the time, unless you're watching Chovy stream on Hulu or whatever. And you will get much more out of this than out of this, but it's a bit more difficult as you don't have as much engagement and the guys are usually speaking Korean, the best players at least. Now the next level, and this is a big separation here, okay? Here we're going from entertainment plus enjoyment into a bit more of a work type shit. So in this one, we're gonna be watching our own games, and that kind of sucks. If you haven't done it, it is not as pleasant as watching streams or watching or playing normals with champs that you've never played. So if you're watching your own games, just basically going into a game that you played, and a good way to start this is watching your deaths. You record your games with a software if you have a good enough PC, like Insights, Capture, or Outplayed, and then the game, you record the whole game, not the highlights, and the software will mark every time you died in the game. And you click on those times, you go behind like 10 seconds, you look what happened, you see what happened, and this achieves two things. The primary one is accountability. You're seeing I died to this. This is basically what the VOD is telling you. You died to this. Look, you did. What happened here? Why are you dying? And most of the time, it's going to be something stupid that you can avoid. Most of the time, it's going to be, yeah, I'm playing aggressive with no vision, or yeah, I'm super low and I'm staying greedy for one wave under tower, and stuff like that. So this is going to increase your accountability of, okay, if I want to climb, I need to get this out of my system. I'm better than this. It's not that I'm bad, I'm just greedy. I'm just playing for too much short-term reward, and I am dying to things that I can avoid skill-wise. Skill-wise, I am good enough to avoid them, but I'm not serious enough. So the accountability is a big part. And the other one is you're actually seeing what you died to. Sometimes it might be something that you didn't expect. And you will get better by looking at the situations you died from an objective, more calm POV out of the game instead of looking at it only when you die and you're just still like, oh, I can't believe I died, or like you don't have time to reflect because you're already looking at the game in front of you to go into the next play. So this is a big part of improving when you start reaching a level that is pretty high, or if you haven't reached a level that's pretty high, it's still pretty good to do this because it is a major, very easy way to improve, very fast way, rather I should say. It's not easy. However, it makes things less fun because you're seeing how bad you are. It really doesn't feel good. I am talking from experience reviewing games I play in Challenger. You still understand that you're not that good at the game when you watch yourself. So do this at your own risk. And now the last mysterious thing here that a lot of you guys might not even know is actually done. But here we're talking about the holy grail of improvement. This is mostly about pros, about people who want to be the best in their continent, like pros or the best in the world. How do these people improve? And I'll tell you my take. The best player in the world, Chovy, he doesn't play that much in a day. Probably plays the scrim blocks and plays solo queue every couple of days. But I don't think this guy is just not doing anything, watching pornography for the rest of the day. So my take is that they watch a lot of VODs. The best players watch a lot of VODs of themselves like this in their day. So how is this different than this? Well, here we're going into really deep detail. Here we're going into watching our laning phase, and this is for people who are pretty good already. Okay, I don't recommend this if you're below at least Grandmaster tier. So we're watching a laning phase that we played, ideally against someone we respect in solo queue, and we're going over that laning phase for 30 minutes to 1 hour. We're gonna be seeing every single time we auto the wave, if we auto the minion when it was too low HP, and we actually got an auto that dealt less total damage to the wave, which might cause us to lose push. We're gonna be seeing every single time our opponent lands a spell on us, if we could wiggle a little bit more before stepping up. We're gonna be looking at details such as if we are playing on our opponent, let's say they're a Syndra, we're playing at their range, are we playing exactly at their range, or are we giving us time to react if she steps forward? We're going to be going really into the nitty gritty here. If you want to reach the top level, you have to be reviewing like this, and you have to be making that huge commitments into refining the details of your gameplay. So one laning phase should take about 20 to 40 minutes, I would say, depending on the matchup. If you are a jungler or a support, support can still review lane. Jungler can definitely review skirmishes in detail and pathing as well. But as far as laning, I'm 100% sure these people review their lanes in extreme detail, up to the smallest details, like I mentioned, in order to improve long term, and they play a bit less games at this point as they become so good. Now, you can both review at this rate and play a lot of games. I've tried to do it, but it definitely takes a toll on your mental. So, if you're built different, maybe you can do it. And I would say, if you can, more power to you. Go get a man. So, this is my general guide as far as improving long term and the different steps you can take. There's a couple more caveats I want to make, like consistency. This takes into presumption that you will be playing the game consistently. You don't want to be overdoing things for a while and then taking breaks for and not even doing these basic things for a long time, like 3, 4. This is a long time days. If you're serious about improving, yes, I know you work. Yes, some people don't have all day. Try to do one game a day. Try to do an ARAM even in a day. You want to keep your fingers and your intuition attached to the game at all times. You don't want to forget the things you've learned. Your improvement goes like this, and the moment you stop playing, it's like going like this, and then you have to pick it back up again. So try to play at least one game a day if you can, and try to be as consistent as you possibly can, and you're gonna see the fastest possible results with this plan. I would recommend for most casual players stick to this. Occasionally, you can do reviewing your debts if you are a bit extra about it, but if you see yourself getting burnt out, just go back to watching chill streams and VODs or pros or whatever, and playing your solo queue, your normals, your ARAMs, and focusing on your specializing on your champs and learning other champs with time. Alright, so that was a long one. So we are done with the course at this point, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions for me, just leave them in the comments. And if you want me to do any particular type of content, just again, let me know in the comments and I will see what I can do. I also plan on uploading commentaries where I play low games and I apply these things and show you exactly without trying to overwhelm my opponents with mechanics how these things can be applied and examples of them. Of course, there's mechanics, and of course, it's cheating, it's low, but I don't really play pro anymore, so I can't play in high-low. So I will be uploading such games to show you what some of these things mean with tangible examples, and we will be meeting then. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.